All right, well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of The B.R.I.A.N Identity. I am your host, Sam, and we have with us... Let's start with Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. I am the GM of Dungeon Dive Bar, which is an actual play podcast that also takes place near Numeria in the Echo Woods. It's a fun little triangle between Ustalov, Numeria, and the River Kingdoms.
Now it's your responsibility to pick someone else. I have abdicated this role.
Okay. I'll move on to Zach.
Hi there.
Because I saw him about to take a drink of water.
Hey there. Yes, I was certainly not trying to drink a drink of water. I'm Zach, the voice of Brixby Renttail on our other podcast. Maybe you haven't listened to that. You should. You really, really should. Go do that after this. Not right now. Stay here. Jero.
Hello. I also was getting something to drink and rushing to get it done because I knew I would get called on if you saw me doing it.
Continue.
I am, like I said, Jero, and on our other podcast, I play Vargas Junk Punch, the Kellid artificer. No, I just lied about my class. The Kellid Jiskin Artificer, which is different than an Artificer, which is not even a Pathfinder class, I don't think. That's a 5e class.
It's not. It's a second edition class.
Yeah, secretly
Well, no,
he's been
Adventure's
playing
a second
5e
edition.
this whole time.
Yeah. That's why
That
my
explains
stats are
so
so
much,
bad
doesn't
compared
it?
to everybody
Explains
else.
why he can't die, because he always gets to make 48 death saves.
Yeah. Izzy.
Hello, I'm Izzy. I play Kira on the other podcast, which we have mentioned a couple times, so hopefully I don't have to name. I live next to a train, and I am done talking now. So, Jeff, you should talk now because of how I am no longer doing that. There you go.
We're going to leave
now.
all of that in.
Yeah, leave it in. Leave it in.
Cool.
I'm very confident.
Excellent. I am Jeff. I am the voice of Asher Halich on our other podcast, which is nobody going to call it Pot Against the Machine?
No.
Are we all just going to call it?
We're going to make
Other
them guess.
Cool.
I'm not on that show, so...
So he's on like the other podcast. Yeah. And yeah. Back to Sam Prime.
I thought I was done talking. Okay, so this is the inaugural episode of a fun side project that we've put together, which is called the name of which I already said, the B.R.I.A.N Identity. We're going to jump right in. We're going to start by going back in time from now to earlier today, to a darkened office somewhere in Numeria. Possibly underground, probably just under a tarp, kind of leaned up against a hill, so it looks like it's underground. It's pretty dark in there, but it's not actually underground. Garritt Burrwaddle, the scrapmaster of the village of Torch, paces back and forth, his hands folded behind his back, in front of a cast of 4 shadowy, mysterious figures. He stops. And he turns around and he smiles. And he says to them, "I have received reports of alien activity centered on an apple orchard in the northern reaches of the Echo Wood. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just some stupid Aslanti leftover crap. But I've been assured by my contact, unlike the last mission, there is no way this is leftover Aslanti crap. The locals have avoided this particular location for decades due to absurd rumors that it's haunted, probably spread by the aliens to keep gullible townsfolk away. The main thing you're going to be looking for happens a few nights in a row every Lamachan. My contact Albert tells me it happened last night, and that means it's going to happen again tonight. Round about midnight, there's going to be a big light show over this apple orchard. Space ship. Every year, Lamachan, midnight, spaceship. No one's ever seen the ship, of course, just the lights, but still. You've got your standard sounds like howling and murling, and you have unusual leaf activities. Do you know what makes leaves do weird things? Anyone?
One of the shadowy figures raises a hand with some really disturbingly long fingers and goes, the wind? The wind does that, right, boss?
No. Spaceships. You know who has spaceships? Anyone?
The Aslanti?
The Technic League.
Aliens. Obviously, it's not ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts. It's aliens. Science. Deductive reasoning. Try to keep up. The aliens only come out at night, so they're probably from a planet that has no sun or something. So, could be they're like ice aliens or something. So if you want to hit them with like fire bombs or whatever you do, that could be a good idea. Just make sure that you keep at least one pristine alien specimen for science. And to show all of my various enemies and naysayers that it's time to shut it up. Incidentally, legend has it that the Ice Knight aliens have hidden a great treasure in the woods. We're not sure if this is just nonsense the gullible townsfolk have made up to make themselves feel bad about being scared of the not even real ghosts, or if it's a trap that the aliens have set in order to lure in brave adventurers like yourselves to your inevitable deaths, or if there's like a real treasure there. But obviously if there's a real treasure there, I want it. And if it's a trick to lure you to your deaths, then it's all a moot point, isn't it?
Hello. I have a question.
Yes, what?
Should this point be, as you say, moot, and all of us sent to our deaths, will there be a compensation package for other interested parties?
Sure. There will be 20 gold pieces for parties. And party hats. Yeah, okay.
This seems suspicious.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sadly, my sense motive is a 0, so I'll have to deal with it.
Well then, go forth. Members, brave agents of the Bureau of Research and Investigation of Aliens in Numeria. And find those aliens. I'll be, behind you, for when, after the danger's gone, I'll come.
The shortest one is going to look around the rest and go, you guys get paid in chocolate coins last time too, or was that just a mistake on my end?
You received payment.
Why, yes, I have copious human money from this employment.
Oh, okay, never mind. Let's just head out.
So I think now we're going to transition to the present, because that was all the past, of course, to a small clearing in the Echo Wood.
My clearly human person is going to cast light on his fedora.
So we find ourselves in a clearing at the head of a path in the aforementioned spooky Echo Wood. I'm going to cue up some spooky atmospheric music. And our team of 4 shadowy figures are no longer shadowy thanks to the glowing fedora. So before we get into our adventure proper, let's start with introducing the characters. And let's start with our local contact, Mr. Albert.
So as you all walk into the forest, you see a very well-dressed gentleman, robes, reading a book. He has on a fancy monocle, and an aura of vitality seems to surround him in a hazy purple glow. And as he sees the light, he slams his book shut, stands up tall, adjusts his coat, his collar, with the soft tinkling of chainmail underneath. He goes, "Oh, hello. You must all be the contacts. I am Albert. Pleasure to meet you." And he takes a low bow. "May I have your names, please?"
I think the first one to step up, because I feel like I might be the most gregarious out of this group, is you see a halfling, probably looks like maybe early 30s, looks vaguely like SNL alumni Phil Hartman kind of, but his hands are kind of a little creepily long. He's got on a sports coat that is yellow and black houndstooth pattern, and underneath that he has on a salmon button-down shirt with the top 2 buttons undone, a bright red belt, a pair of aqua slacks, and a pair of white loafers with no socks. And he has a gray felt trilby on his head with a bright pink band with a horned owl feather kind of tucked into it. And he steps up and smiles and holds out his hand for it. He goes, "Hey, nice to meet you, Al. My name is Halifax Fitzgerald Lingdon III, but my friends just call me Hal Fling, because, and he kind of gestures to himself. You get it? It's kind of a joke, halfling, Hal Fling. Anyway, nice to meet you, Al."
Oh, I do love wordplay. A pleasure to meet you, Hal.
And he shakes your hand, and these are my esteemed colleagues.
Greetings. I am Skynet. And Skynet stands about 5'10". He has a robust mustache and brown hair that is poorly affixed to his shiny and slightly luminescent tattoo laden skin. He is wearing a smart salmon-colored shirt under a green sweater with an orange tie showing. He grins oddly.
You're a dashing fellow, aren't you?
Very kind.
Hello, I am Alexa. You may call me Alexa. Alexa is mostly human-looking, save for a few features, in particular, her eyes, including like sclera, is that the word? Pupils and all that. Everything is just black in there. It's probably contacts, though, because the youths these days like to modify appearances. It also, to some, might appear that like the back of her skull is missing and perhaps replaced with a series of wires. But that's also makeup. She's in the local theater troupe, so is at all times just trying to really bring people into this world where sometimes people don't have heads.
Your makeup skills are quite impressive, madam.
I have access to a large wealth of makeup and other tutorial videos if you're interested.
I don't know what a video is.
Classic Alexa. And Dane Scully is about 6'7" and is wearing a black trench coat and a fashionable fedora that definitely fits his clearly human and not elongated and gray-skinned head very well. And he definitely is clearly very human.
Well, I must say, I am simply delighted to have all of you here assisting me. Garritt has been very... what's the word? Energetic, that's the word, about this alien business, and I'm very assured that he found people to assist me. Otherwise, he was sending me in alone.
Yeah, Garritt, he's a good guy, a little weird, and he kind of leans forward. Between you and me, I'm not sure I really believe this whole alien thing, but, there is some weird stuff going on, and Garritt, he's one of the few people around here that seems to notice it. He's a good guy.
He truly is a modern Renaissance man. like the Aslanti once were. Except they're all dead. And now we find remnants of the civilization everywhere. A lovely time. As Albert gets closer, you notice that his teeth are unusually pearly white, and his skin is creepily healthy.
Albert, you're looking very human today.
Oh, thank you. I do try. I am one after all.
Same.
So it's not very
Neighborly,
hard.
Yes, we humans do look rather human today.
Yes.
This is particularly impressive, given as you have no need of my makeup tutorials or videos.
I still don't know what a video is.
I'm sorry.
Is it like a book? I do like books. And he holds up a book, and it's just called The Book of Magic.
Very normal book name for a very normal group of humans and one halfling.
Ah, yes, books. I am familiar with these. In my past life, I used to collect them from other people who had books and sell them instead of those people. It was very lucrative, which is good.
Yes, finances are important when it comes to literature.
And humanness.
I do enjoy a good kip, yes.
Yeah, no. Everybody likes sleeping.
Yes, I meant sleeping and not a quick bite of food before supper.
Oh, right, Kit. Yeah, no, I know human terms, but we all do.
Shall we move on, then? We have a limited window in order to explore. And as much as I'm enjoying getting to know all of you, if we want to be paid, we do need to find proof.
All I gotta say is, Garritt better pay us in real gold this time, not the kind you can bite through.
I made him go to the Church of Abadar and get real money this time.
Are you incapable of biting through currency?
Well, it was not recommended that I do so, so I simply choose not to.
As do we all, being humans and one halfling.
Yes, absolutely. Well then. What are all of your abilities so that we can most effectively determine our marching order, as folks who do fieldwork say?
I'm kind of good with the sort of magic-y, tricky type stuff. I can hypnotize people, I can make you scared, I can make it hard for you to talk, I can trick you into helping us. Just all kinds of wacky stuff.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
I have similar abilities to my diminutive companion. As a entertainment human, I have many skills that involve parlor tricks and mind reading.
Oh, lovely.
I too have a great selection of skills at my disposal, such as knowledge, other knowledge, more knowledge, and additional knowledges. Furthermore, I can play and sing several songs, unless they're not in my library, in which case you'll have to pay me for them.
Lovely. I do enjoy knowledge, after all.
And Dane draws his longsword and says, I try not to use this, but I can. In truth, I'm more of an actor, and I can sweet talk my way out of things, as we humans say.
But that is handy. Well, onwards we go.
Incredibly well-rounded party. I just don't know if the front line is big enough for all of us.
No,
I've got, like-
definitely not.
Yeah.
I have a decent AC. I can just jump in front there and...
Go get him,
my
Tiger.
I just think
Yes.
it's so strange that you
Yay.
all chose such a well-formulated classic party. Just, human, halfling, human.
Yeah, the classic 2 oracles, 2 mesmerists, and a
Yeah.
bard. You know, that party makeup that you've seen 100
Those
times.
are all out of the core rulebook, I think.
I'm a psychic now. For what it's worth, there's variety. Don't worry, everybody. We don't have two duplicate two duplicate
Oh, that's
classes.
right. I forgot you switched. Yeah.
It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to put Alexa in front. Something knowledge is power. They say that right in the song or something, or in the book, on a TV. Somewhere it's said.
I think if you go in front before you do, Hal goes, hey, Lexi, come here for a second. And he...
I'm sorry, were you speaking to me?
Yeah,
My name
yeah.
is Alexa.
Yeah, right. Lexi, come here. Okay, so
Oh, you seem to have messed it up again.
I want you to look at me for a second, and he is going to just kind of stare into your eyes for a little bit, and you feel something kind of weird. And he goes, okay, we're good. And he shoots his finger guns.
I have no weapons to draw, but I appreciate your hostility. Take off, I guess. Here we go.
Wee.
Just gonna move down here. I'm gonna walk to the end of these trees and do a perception.
Oh, wait, before we move on, would
hang
everyone
on.
like to make a toast?
Yes.
And he pulls out a wineskin and drops a single grape into the wineskin
Yes. Thank you.
and passes it around to everybody.
Is this Tears to Wine?
It's tears to wine.
Thank you. So good.
My favorite support spell in all of Pathfinder. For the next 50 minutes, everyone gets a +2 enhancement bonus to all wisdom and intelligence-based checks.
Nice.
What makes it so good is its enhancement, which is not a bonus for anything, at least not for skill checks.
Skynet takes a deep sip, and it all pours out of the very open throat situation he has going on, a la another robotic killing machine from some cinematic franchise we will not name, and turns back, just it's spilling down his clothing. Refreshing. Thank you. And passes
You're quite welcome.
And Dane will hold his sword out with one hand and then take the wineskin with two other hands to his face. And he doesn't really have a whole lip situation per se, so it just kind of rolls somewhat down his chin, but a lot of it goes in his mouth. And he just nods to Skynet and says, yes, a good vintage, and then hands it to Lex Luthor. That's the one.
Hello, my name is Alexa.
Yes.
No big deal.
Here you are, Lexi.
Alexa will take the wineskin and drink it mostly normally. She's watched a lot of Amazon music videos on that. I don't know if I can say that, so we're going to say Amazon videos.
Jungle videos.
It's just the general Nile area. And then hand it to Hal. Wonderful. Human sustenance is important. Perhaps for halflings as well.
Hal goes, thanks, and he tips his hat to him, and he does for half a second. He shrinks about 3 inches, and his head grows about twice as big, and he turns gray. But it happens so quick, you blink and you miss it. And then puts the hat back on and takes a big, long draw of the wine and goes, that's some good stuff. Thanks for that, Al. And he tosses the wineskin back to him.
You're very welcome. And he tucks it back into one of the many folds of his clothes.
Let us wait 51 minutes and then proceed.
As
Of course. That
Alright, I'm going to roll down this little avenue of trees here. I'm going to stop right here and make a perception check for this clearing area.
sounds reasonable.
Okay, well, we're off to a single-digit start. That's a 7 plus a... What is this perception? 7. Oh, I didn't care for
What?
that. Nothing. 14.
With a 14, the woods are oddly thick. It's the trees are so close together. It's almost like you're being sort of railroaded in one direction or something weird. But they're thicker than yogurt, really. They had to. Jeff did it.
Didn't have
Jeff
to.
did
That's
it.
a lie.
There's the sounds of owls in the air, and some of the trees are just starting to lose their leaves as it is Lamachan, which, as we all know, is the spooky season. So leaves turn colors and fall down.
Alexa will stop and hold up a hand without turning around. I have identified several trees. These trees appear to be very, very thick. Some might say... No one's going to say it. I will not be bullied into this. There's a lot of trees. Alexa lets you all know.
Thicker than
Trees are
what?
average depth.
I had the intrusive thought to make Sam have a bad time. I'm gonna do it. That is a 32. What kind of trees are these?
It's largely cherry trees, so they have like a nice shaggy bark. You see some striped maples, and that's why really they're wrapped in so dense, because they all kind of sprung up out of the same root clusters. Don't come at me for trees, man. I got trees for days.
You and an arborist walk into a conversation and they talk about trees for 10 hours straight.
Heaven forbid we find a mushroom out here.
Oh, this podcast will never end. But, you know,
I do like
everything
a good tree.
seems safe.
I take a sample of the bark.
It smells woody. Bit spicy.
It's a bit louder than its bite.
Yes. A local joke. Very funny.
Yes, I love human sayings of my fellow humans.
Progress, and I will also do a perception check for things. With a 14 on the die for a 25. And as he looks around, his monocle shines weirdly, as though it's fixated on his face and something is possessing it.
Well, that's fun. Yeah, he doesn't see much of anything that seems all that interesting, but I think something seems a little bit strange sort of to the northwest there, as the path curves up to the north. It's just something just seems a little bit off. Maybe the branches are sort of sagging under some kind of weight. It's hard to say.
The weight of those active cultures.
Fascinating. Well, nothing to be suspicious about. Nature is wonderful, after all.
I think you say that, and Alexa doesn't say anything, but you hear the faint sounds of, like, nature white noise just begin to emanate from the back of her head.
I thought...
Did you say play nature sounds?
Wait, I thought you were the bard.
As previously mentioned, I have access to a great many skills, including, but not limited to, playing sounds sometimes, often when least expected.
Oh. Okay, then.
You're welcome.
I do appreciate a good sound. The cluster of no one wants to be attacked first.
As we progress north, I'm just gonna need everyone to pause for a second and bounce me a D100. We'll start with Alexis, and she's right up front.
Okay, well, I don't have any D100 ready, so we're going to do this. Roll 1, D100. 70.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a reflex save from everybody but Skynet and Halfling, as an enormous 18-foot wide pumpkin falls out of the trees and starts rolling downhill through all of you. So reflex saves.
Ooh, natural 19 for a 26.
Is this the sound
Yes,
of a
that's the
rolling
sound of a
pumpkin?
rolling pumpkin.
It's the sound of Scooby-Doo running away.
It is also
that's
the
the,
same
mystery
sound
gang.
effect as Scooby-Doo running away.
It's a good sound effect.
It's got a total of a 19 for Dane.
Alright, so you all saved. Managed to jump at least partially out of the way. So you'll take half of 12 damage. So 6 damage each, unless you have evasion.
No, just uncanny dodge.
It's uncanny.
That enormous pumpkin rolled way downhill and disappeared into the darkness up ahead.
I do hope the trees are okay.
Were any of you squashed?
I believe that was a gourd, not a squash. Regardless, if you so wish, and he reaches into his coat sleeve and pulls out a gnarled stick, I can provide temporary and rather permanent aid, actually. And he's holding a wand of Cure Light Wounds.
Yes. Aid for humans who are injured by rolling gourds.
Yes. Is that not what you are?
I am that. However, I'm fine.
If you insist. And he
I-
boops himself and heals 4 points.
Wouldn't be opposed.
5 points, actually, because of a secret trait.
You have another of those charges for a fellow human.
I most certainly do. Boop. And you get healed 8 points.
I've never felt more alive and capable.
Well, that is why I'm here, to keep you all alive and to learn. Knowledge is power, you see.
It's half the battle as well.
Is this a flavor flower? Can I look at it?
Sure, you can look at that
I like the
flower.
Rafflesia.
It's a vile bloom.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon. It pops up, hits you all with poison gas.
I'll only believe it if it shouts its own name.
It's actually had silence cast upon it.
I think Vileplume just screams. I don't think it actually says its name in the anime.
You said, yeah, this is flavor flower.
Yeah,
We can
it's just a
safely.
flavor flower. It's delicious, though.
LFF. Great.
What
Albert.
flavor is the flavor flower?
Yes.
Is this a common occurrence? The large pumpkin?
Well, we are in the Echo Woods, and there are druids in the area, so it's possible. They are known to create fantastic organic items. In addition, there are magic pumpkins that you can actually live in. It's called the Gourd Home. It's a fascinating item, really. You plant it in the ground, and then you speak the command word, and he just starts rambling about this magic item as he's walking.
Oh, and Skynet's very interested. Ned is very interested. Skynet is incredibly interested. Sorry.
You see, and then you can just pick it up and give it a little shake and possibly kill someone.
I find
Oh,
that
in the clearing.
enjoyable. A perk.
As you come to the end of this long, impossibly straight segment of trail in the woods, you come to a three-way intersection. Directly in front of you sits a huge pumpkin smashed into some very dense trees. There's pumpkin seeds everywhere. It's just a horrible mess. There's, of course, back the way you came, and then to the right, it looks like the trees kind of gray and thin out a bit. And to the left, there appears to be more forest. And right at the edges of your dark vision, looks like maybe a big owl just sitting there. Kind of weird.
Is that to the
That
west?
is-
Yeah, that's to the west.
That's suspicious.
Dane just wants to take a quick peek at the smashing pumpkins, look for any signs of Billy Corgan or anything weird.
All right.
Yeah, I'd also like to poke around that pumpkin area.
Yeah, I'd like to collect some seeds.
It's a natural 20 on the Miami dice for a 29.
Definitely looks like this was not a naturally grown pumpkin. If this was entered in any sort of largest produce contest, the person who entered it was definitely a cheater. And it's filled with, oversized pumpkin seeds that seem strange, perhaps otherworldly in origin.
Unlike us.
Is there a knowledge check I can do on these pumpkin seeds as well? Or was that the result of the knowledge
You
check?
could roll a knowledge nature.
2 on the die for an 18.
With an 18, this does not appear to be a natural pumpkin. This appears to be a pumpkin that has been engineered by some sort of produce engineer.
Does a 19 tell us who the produce engineer is?
Or perhaps a 24.
I'm afraid you're all passing the check. It's all the same information.
Well, the only reasonable thing to do would be to plant these oversized pumpkin seeds and then just wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
At least 47 more minutes for them to grow.
Sounds reasonable.
Go check out that giant owl. That sounds fun.
Yeah, any of you guys see the big bird over there?
Yes, I was going to address it after the pumpkin, which is immediately in front of me, as is the logical course of action.
You know, I got a buddy once, some rednecks, were shooting at him, and they later on, they thought it was an owl. It was real funny story, but maybe that's him, so let's go see.
Certainly. Oh,
Hank? He calls out to the owl.
And the owl, which you could see here, is it's nearly as big as the pumpkin. It's just sitting there, looking at you with its owly gaze. It cocks its head to the side in the sort of weird robotic motions that owls have. It's blocking most of the path. It's just an owl. Huge one.
Oh.
The other way then, through the gray trees. Clearly we can't go through here.
No, not yet. I've switched accents. One moment. And he twitches a little. It's like, oh, there we are. Hello.
Is there anything we can roll on this owl, Sam?
A knowledge check on the owl would be knowledge arcana.
Okay, a lot better this time than a 2 on die. 29.
With a 29, this is indeed a giant owl, a huge magical beast that sits in silent gracefulness and wisdom despite its considerable size. And with a 29, you can ask 3 questions on the giant owl.
Question 1. Can it speak and comprehend language? And if so, what languages?
It can't speak. It can understand languages. It understands Sylvan, and it can communicate via telepathy, but mostly with animals.
Okay. Special defenses.
It has a sort of insightful senses where it's extremely wise when anticipating danger. It gets a bonus to initiative checks, and it can also 3 times per day as a swift action give itself the effects of true seeing for 1 round.
Oh. And then... Special abilities.
The aforementioned animal telepathy. It can speak with, and some say command, other animals psychically at a distance of 30 feet.
Okay.
Skynet got a 31 on that. Can I ask a couple additional questions?
Yeah, you can indeed.
All right, so what do we have for special attacks?
It's just got your standard claw.
Excellent. And what is their general alignment predisposition?
Lawful neutral as a magic beast.
Interesting. Anything else anyone wants to know, gang?
I also got a 27 if we want to ask a few more questions that people think of after he's done.
So many questions.
For like the most
We could ask how many
simple
hit dice it has.
character.
24 if we need more questions. But I don't have any further, so.
We're just going to
You
spend
get
the
its
next
hit
hour
dice
and a half
count.
studying this owl.
We all turn into ornithologists for the day.
Spend the next 48 minutes staring at the owl as the owl stares back.
Well,
So, turns out that is not my buddy Hank. So, if no one else wants to do anything with the owl, we can probably head on and find this spooky spaceship thing, right?
yes. Let us do that.
Yep, gonna shimmy on past the owl then. Here we go. I'm shimmying over here.
Sneaking by the owl.
Well, not sneaking. I'm
Through
shimmying.
its space, though? That seems pretty
Maybe.
aggressive.
It occupies that whole
Potentially.
3x3.
Well, she could go like right here.
Oh yeah, the hard
She
corner.
can take the hard
Yeah.
corner. Oh, this owl is rolling a sense motive. Gets a 20. Does it sense aggression?
No, I'm just gonna walk past the owl. I can play the owl's favorite song. You know, where the owl is capable of. It's turned around.
I think they like to listen
upsetting.
to the Who. Maybe Hootie and the Blowfish. I don't know, man.
I was gonna say Hootie and the
See, that's the joke I was
Owl
thinking.
songs.
Gonna say his favorite artist is Darius Rucker.
I mean, I thought we already established because of the Smashing Pumpkins right there.
It's true.
I mean, it doesn't have a big enough zebra stripe cowboy hat to be Billy Corgan. Although it's
You're right.
otherwise terrifying in a similar otherworldly way.
So I will also shimmy past. I have no hostility for this owl.
Do we have a preference in direction, gang?
Well,
We'll ask that in
as the
character.
good book
Do we have a
says,
preference in
Nethys
direction?
says always go south.
I'm not familiar with that book, actually. How much would it sell for?
The Book of Magic? Why, the holy text of Nethys is probably free. Knowledge is one of his most important tenets. And the sharing of it is part of his doctrine.
Might I recommend it be free with a subscription?
Well, it's free to church members, so if you call being a part of the church a subscription model,
In a way. We'll keep heading down here.
As you head south, meandering through some narrower passages, the owl totally just lets you go. It's just an owl. It's just hanging out. As the path will curve around to the south and then go back up north again to another line of mysteriously dense trees. It's almost like this whole thing is on rails of some kind.
Albert,
yes.
what do we do if south is blocked by trees? Do we force our way through?
No, that would be disrespectful to nature. You simply choose another direction.
Oh, I thought you said to always go south.
When it's available.
Oh,
Now, if I were a different follower of Nethys, I would say, burn your way through.
Makes sense to me.
But I am not one who is so prone to such wanton acts of destruction. I follow the lighter side of the magics of the broken god.
Sounds kind of boring.
You say boring, I say enlightening. And he smiles at you again, and this time instead of his teeth being creepily white, his eyes are sparkling, kind of anime sparkles. But picture anime sparkles mixed with Steven Universe's star eyes. That's what's happening right now, and it looks much more unsettling when they're combined like that.
And he just smiles back like, yeah, okay.
As you come south around this final corner and find your way into a circular clearing in the denser trees, you're in what appears to be an apple orchard. It's a gently sloping clearing. Everything kind of rolls downward into a 15 by 15 pool at the center where there's calm, reflected water. It's probably fed from a string underground, and there are apples floating in the water that look like they were overripe and fell from the trees. And down at the bottom of that pool, you can see by the soft glow of a magically illuminated fedora, it appears to be a chest of some kind.
Oh my, a chest in a suspiciously uniform lake.
Garritt said he wanted the treasure.
Who amongst us can swim? Can any of you swim? I cannot.
No, my cousin, Aqua Ned, does quite well. He also will hold a hairstyle just fine.
Yeah, no. These are $200 alligator skin loafers. I am not going in that water.
Hal, would you be interested in seeing lower prices for the same shoes?
You know, get back to me with that after Garritt pays us.
Scheduling. Get back to me with that.
How deep does this pool appear to be?
Oh, it looks like it's probably about 10 feet deep.
Well, I mean, Dane could do it. We have a flat 0 swim.
I got a -2.
I was going to say,
But
you're the strongest of us.
and carrying a certain weight of gear, you can just sink right to the bottom. It would just be like lifting it up and getting out part. Before going into the pool, just a perception to see if anything other than apples may be bursting out of this underground stream to devour us. Ooh, natural 3. 12 total. Anything look amiss?
Just looks like a bunch of misshapen red apples floating in the liquid, but I think as you get closer to it, you do notice that the water's kind of warm. Warmer than the air, certainly.
Oh, pleasant. He will take off his illuminated fedora, revealing his decidedly long head, and just not say anything about it, and just kind of walk, trench coat still on, forward into the pool to just sink to the bottom.
You know, don't anybody say anything to him about it, but he should probably get that thing looked at.
I can recommend a good doctor.
Finding doctors in the area.
Alexa, cancel that request.
Cancel. Stopped? Whatever she says. I won't do it anymore.
Well, while he's sunken, do any of you like pears?
Pairs of what?
The fruit. And he produces from his knapsack a pear.
Yes, but where's the other one?
He pulls out a second one.
Ah, pleasant.
I know we're in an apple orchard, but I do so enjoy a fine pear, especially in the starlight. Would you care to sample one?
Yes. And hands straight down at his sides. He just pistons his body forward, opening his mouth, and just bites it out of the hand. Does not straighten back up and continues to just bite, kind of horse-like for a little while. Pleasant.
Would you like to hear a joke about pears?
I do like jokes.
Hang on. Where do fruits go on vacation?
Where do fruits go on vacation?
Pear is.
Nice one.
Where is Paris? I've never heard of that location.
It's the city with the big metal thing, you know, the place.
Absalom?
I believe it's in Galt.
Oh, one of those Galton cities. Yes, they do strange things in Galt. Very, very, very strange place. Lots of beheadings.
Yeah, no, I think I remember hearing that Paris place. Yeah, no, they cut your head off all the time there. Had a whole
Yes.
big thing about it once.
I have a cousin that works as a guillotine there. Nice job. I mean, executioner. Anywho, he should be coming back soon.
Yes, I hope he did not drown.
Meanwhile, Dane's been under the water for
We've been
20
talking for like 5 minutes.
He's fine.
He's just floating face down on the
He's
surface.
just bobbing for apples.
Oh, look, he's back up with the apples.
No,
Above the chest, though.
oops. If Dane goes to try and pull the chest out off the bottom of the pool, does it seem to come free, or?
It does indeed. So everything's lighter underwater, so it's no problem picking up the thing. I mean, you have the
Dope.
weird, like, suction water resistance, but with an arm or 2, or 3, or 4, Dane should be able to get it off the ground.
Yeah, he can just propel himself up with 2 arms while holding the chest with the other 2. And just kind of, as he crests out of the pool, just kind of push it out onto the shore so he doesn't have to really carry it too much. And then just get up and pick up his dry hat and put it back on his head.
Well, that was... Are you okay there? You were down an awfully long time.
Yes, it was pleasant and warm.
I'm glad it wasn't uncomfortably warm. I've heard there's a lot of pools in the Echo Wood that are uncomfortably warm.
I like my water like I like my goo. Warm.
So, anybody calling dibs on this thing, or
I'm gonna do a detect magic on it.
should probably do that too? Actually, if you're doing, I don't need to.
I will not.
Do I detect any magics?
You do not detect any magic on the chest.
What about me?
You do.
Do I detect magic?
No magic on the chest.
Does anyone have a set of lockpicks and the ability to pick locks?
I have a protocol to enter this box if no one else has the skill.
I'm pretty good with my hands. Got maybe, I'd say, if I had to put a numerical value to it, maybe a +5, but I don't have any kind of tools.
I will put you
Searching.
at a disadvantage.
That it would.
Regardless, it appears you should proceed, and then I will aid you if needed.
Is it locked?
It does appear to be locked.
We haven't even checked. Okay.
It won't make you roll for that.
So do you aid?
No, I'm not going to be able to aid you skill-wise.
Oh, you can't aid skill. Oh, that's right, because it's a lot. Yeah, it's not the right kind
Yeah,
of skill.
no. It's. I got another
yeah.
thing. Just go for it.
So he is, without any sort of thieves' tools, going to attempt to pick this lock. However the heck that works.
It's just a -1.
So that is a 9 on the die for a 14 with the -1 would be a 13. So that probably does not get through it.
As how
Oh, I think it's a -2, isn't it?
It's a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
sadly it wasn't close enough.
It's either a 13 or a 12.
With picking up a twig off the ground, maybe just sort of shoving it in the rusty padlock. It just doesn't.
Whittle it down.
He so Skynet will reach into one of his pouches beneath his smart green sweater, producing a small like heft of wood, and hands it to Hal. I believe you can also use this. It's a wand of knock. It's on both of our spell lists. So
Yeah.
it's got 3 charges.
And I do not need UMD because it's on my spell list, right?
Yee.
Okay, yeah, so he is going to go. Thank you, Ned. And he is going to take it and tap it onto the lid of the chest and cast knock.
Alright, so that is a caster level check plus 10 again.
And since it's a level 2 spell, caster level's 3. So it'll be the 13 plus whatever you roll.
Yeah. That is a 16 on the die.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
So total of 29.
Pretty sure I get it.
Yeah, the rusty old lock pops open.
So he flips the lid of this chest up. He starts to stick the wand in his pocket, realizes everyone is looking at him, and hands it back to Ned. And
Thank
what do we
you.
see inside?
Flipping open the chest that was at the bottom, the oddly warm pool and the oddly square, well, the oddly warm, oddly square pool in the odd clearing with odd apple trees in the odd part of the Echo Wood, which is, of course, odd in and of itself. You see
Something even.
a gray lump sitting at the bottom of the chest.
Oh. What is this?
The owl buried its droppings.
Is this that goo you mentioned?
Doesn't look like any flavors I have tried.
Searching flavor goo. Apple. Pear. Cranberry. Egg. Vegan egg. Bacon. Someone please stop me.
No. Vegan bacon.
This is the remainder of the podcast.
I like that egg and vegan egg are separate flavors, even though functionally they should taste the same.
Should.
For some discussion.
So,
Is there a
knowledge-
flavor goo?
Knowledge gray?
Yeah, what would be the check
Does
for this?
anyone
Arcana
want to
again?
Examine the gray lump.
Yes, I will examine the lump.
It sat alone in a boggy
How
marsh.
will you be doing this examination?
First, a visual examination.
It,
Albert will adjust his monocle and stare at it intently.
it appears to be gray, approximately 5 inches in length, by 2.5 inches in width, and rounded. There are at odd spots divots in its surface.
Well, it's... I will take one of the sticks off the ground and prod it.
It moves slightly when you prod it. Appears to weigh a couple pounds. It's solid.
Has it triggered any olfactory?
It does not appear
Things.
to have a smell of any sort.
Alexa will turn to Skyned. Perhaps you should consume this as well, fellow human.
Why, yes. And Skynet just immediately starts leaning forward into the box, stops for a moment, and then just perhaps a tactile engagement, and reaches down to grab the gray thing.
Upon grabbing the gray thing in the box, you reach a startling realization. What you have in your hand is a rock.
Dun dun dun.
It appears we have found Garrett's treasure. Behold, a mineral.
A mineral!
And at that moment, the clock strikes midnight. There's a clock. I don't know where it came from.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Play clock
An alarm
sound.
goes off.
Probably got a
coming at the
wristwatch on too.
That one iOS noise.
And
Boop boop.
a strange wind kicks up, and these leaves lift up off the ground, and some of the apples lift up off the ground as well and start swirling around. And from one of the apple trees, a humanoid skeleton rises up and starts floating in the air and hanging there in front of you. And it's a skeleton, and it's surrounded by flying leaves. And I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
Aww.
He's adorable.
Adorable.
Yeah, he has no business being that cute.
It's a very cute
Yeah,
skeleton.
those will be fine. I normally get real excited for the combat parts, but this is I got a unicorn.
Let me know when you're ready for my number.
Go for
Oh
it.
man.
28.
Wow. And how about Alexa?
Would also like to say I rolled a 20. Well, I don't actually know if other Sam rolled a 20. I rolled a 20.
That was an 11.
Plus 6. Okay, never mind. I'm thoroughly shamed. I take it back.
Powerless Prophecy gives a free +4 insight bonus to initiative.
What was Alexa's total?
26.
Very, very slow. How about Skynet?
Skynet is at a 10, a respectable 10.
And Hal Fling?
Al got a 17.
And how about the mysterious four-armed man?
Dane Scully got a total of a 5. Right where you'd want the bard to be.
Nice.
Indeed.
the bottom.
Sort descending, and that puts Albert up first, as you have an adorable skeleton surrounded by leaves flying above a tree just a little ways away.
I would like to knowledge check the Skeleman.
That would be a knowledge religion.
That is a 31.
Nah, that doesn't do it. Yes, with the 31, you are looking at an autumn death.
Ooh.
So, legends say the first autumn death was created from the skeleton of someone hopelessly lost in the forest. The despair at the point of death, combined with ambient arcane powers from dragons or fae, enervated the remains to a wandering terror.
So we're fighting a Stalfos, for all my Zelda friends out there. How many additional facts do I get?
What was your total roll?
31.
That is absurd.
I have a plus 16 to every knowledge.
I think you only get 2, though.
Ooh, spicy. Yeah, CR plus 15, plus 5 over. Yeah, okay. Defensive abilities.
Defensive abilities. Due to the fact that the leaves are constantly flying around this undead creature, he has constant concealment. In addition, he has normal undead traits of immunity to mind affecting and sleep and such things, and is also immune to acid and cold.
Okay. Special attacks.
Oh, his special attack is fun. As a standard action, the Autumn Death can use a storm of leaves, summoning a violent storm surrounding itself to a 30-foot radius, causing leaves to slice out at any living enemy within the area.
Just for a sense motive vibe check thing, does this thing look like it's going to attack us for disturbing this rock? 18. I just want to see if it's like actually, if it's just like kind of like either defense or if it's actually trying to kill us.
It looks like this is kind of a coincidence because it is midnight, and midnight is when this thing starts whipping things around.
Okay. So it's going to try to kill us then. That seems like a safe assumption. Albert will look at everyone and go, prepare for combat! And his head will unnaturally twist 90 degrees as his eyes glow golden, like a iris, like a black corona surrounds his eyes. And he just stares at the Autumn Death and goes, burn! And it's on fire. I need you to make me a fortitude save.
A fortitude save.
As I have used Star Burn, which causes one creature within 30 feet to burn like a star.
Now, can this affect creatures? Can this affect objects? Because it's a fortitude save, weirdness, undead.
It doesn't say it can't. It lets me set things on fire and make them glow. It doesn't have any conditionals like must target a creature. Well, it says as a standard action, shaman causes one creature within 30 feet to burn like a star.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense that there's not really anything about being dead that would prevent it from burning. So, yeah.
I'm effectively forcing nuclear fusion in it by making it burn like a star.
That's fun. Well, it got a 24 on the fort save.
So you pass, which means you do not glow, but you only have the damage.
Okay.
So you will only take 1d6, which I will use my bullet die on. Guys, the bullet die landed on the back of the casing.
Impressive.
So I'm going to call that a crack die and roll again.
That feels like it.
I rolled it out of my box, but it landed on my table for a 5. Although technically I do have to roll 2d6. I got a 6, so you take 5 damage.
5 damage. Alright, and it...
5 fire damage.
Yeah, it looks like the fire works pretty well on this fella.
And then, that has a recharge of 4 rounds.
Alright, yeah, that looks like maybe it did a little bit more than you thought it would, as some of the leaves around him catch on fire.
And, as soon as he shouted that and it's the fire erupted around the skeleton, his head snaps back into position and he just looks like, oh, it happened again, didn't it? And that's his whole turn because I can't actually move anymore. Because of my curse. I am staggered for the entire first round of combat.
Alright. And that brings us to Alexa.
All right, let's see what happens. This is the leaf guy down here. Am I looking at it? Great. And that is how far away? Cool. All right, I'm going to try and cast a spell, everyone. So, if you need to use the restroom or get some more water, this is probably the time to do it. Alexa will have seen this occurrence from their new friend. Takes it in stride, and then holds out a hand and sort of does like what might be in other worlds called kind of like a phone sort of situation, or hang loose, and mutters something into it you can't quite hear. And from the ground in front of her erupts a very small vehicle that is painted blue with like kind of a smiley face symbol on the side. Someone steps from the back of this vehicle and hands her a package, and from that package bursts forth a spiked chain. Hopefully. As she casts Barb Chains.
Ooh,
No?
something about that. Isn't that mind affecting? Isn't an emotion fear mind affecting? I don't have it on my
Yes.
list. So
That means
It
it's immune
is.
to it.
yeah, just giving you a heads up on that
Even
one.
physical damage? I mean, well, then I won't do it. That's
Yeah,
great.
it's just
so we're going to cut all of that out.
Completely immune.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
the only
anything-
downside to that spell, which is otherwise real sick.
And instead, she will look at, I don't know, whoever's next to her, Hal, and cast Bless.
Hey, everybody gets a
We all get it.
Cool. Do I need to roll something for that?
Nope.
Or is everyone
Nope.
just...
Everyone
Yeah,
gets
just
to
all
say
get
it.
us.
Okay, that's gonna be my turn.
All right. Hal is going to ask the GM a question. It's probably going to end with make a religion roll to know this. Does this thing see?
Probably, yeah. It's got eye sockets.
Would that be a religion check to see if it sees?
I mean, if you're talking like a blindness, deafness sort of thing, and that's the fort.
Oh, is that a sport
That's
save
the
on
fort
that?
save
Okay.
stuff that's not going to affect undead.
Yeah.
This,
Oh, it is a sport save. Dang it.
this
I was
party
thinking I
is
had one. So I was
perfectly
going to say
built for
I
this fight.
yeah. I was looking through my things and I'm like, mind affecting, fort save, mind affecting, and then blindness, deafness. It didn't have the fort save at the beginning, so I'm like, oh, this one's good, but no, it is fort negates. So he's actually
worry,
just going
guys.
to
I will be able to
step
deal damage
forward.
next turn.
Is he at +1 BAB? Yeah,
You should be.
Yeah, so he's got 3.5 BAB. So he is going to step forward, and as he does, he is going to draw this weird-looking little spear thing that he has. And it's a small-sized spear, but on the opposite end of the blade, there's like a big brass knob. And he draws that as he steps up to this thing, and he swings at it with the knob end.
Ooh.
That is a die. That is 13 to hit.
Oh,
The joys of a double weapon.
yeah, 13 will not do it.
Did you add...
Yeah, I have Bless on. I put it on Hero Lab.
I have an ability to help you hit better next turn. It's just going to be a little bit because I got to do something funny.
So that'll be Hal's turn then.
Alright, and see, since you're standing in front of this thing, it's just gonna reach out and touch you. Was that an 18 versus touch?
No, never mind. Yeah, that hits because it's a standard action. It's not a reaction. So yes, that hits.
Alright, vampiric touch. Ooh. That's a 17 damage as it sucks some life out of you. And it
My numbers.
seems to, help itself with that, as if it's getting temporarily little of your life transferred into it.
Ow.
And, it's gonna just move back a little bit. Doesn't want to be up in close quarters. And then it's Skynet's turn.
Well, coming in on initiative 10, Skynet, who is a haunt, as everyone knows, is just going to... So, I'm going to roll a religion first. 16 on the die for a 30.
Alright, you also got 2 questions on this wonderful creature.
Here's a goofy one, Sam. What language does it speak?
Does it speak any languages? Let's see. Common.
Sick. Alright, let's see. Sam, you asked what? Special defenses? And what else? What did you ask already?
Special defenses and special attacks.
Alright.
And we got the standard undead traits, and it had the concealment you didn't roll, but you missed anyway, so it didn't matter.
Alright, excellent. And
then it had the whirlwind, where it did the radius swirling leaf wind attack in a 30-foot radius.
Totally. And it also seems to be vulnerable to fire or something. Alright, so can this thing cast spells, and if so, what?
It has a number of spell-like abilities. You saw one of them, Vampiric Touch. It can also... do I just give you all of them? It can detect good. It can cast Mage Armor. But it also has a Ray of Enfeeblement. It can cast Bleed, Acid Arrow, Enervation, and Waves of Fatigue.
Alright, excellent, thank you. Okay, so Skynet is going to... I keep not intentionally doing that. Is going to take a 5-10 step just a little bit closer to this autumn situation and placing his fingers to the side of his head, Dr. X style. He's going to spend 2 points from his Phrenic pool to activate his Will of the Dead psychic Phrenic situation, which allows me to cast Mind Affecting on undead creatures. So,
nice.
He's then going to point out, and in a very even voice say, "Go back to what you were doing. Leave us alone. Allow us to conduct our business here, unharmed. And I need you to roll me a will save."
Alright. It's a pretty willful little corpse here. 7 on die for a total of 15.
Fail. You have been suggested to chill.
Wow. How long does that last?
Hours per level.
Wow. Very nice.
Nice.
If we had sky medals in this game, we might get a sky.
Skynet would deserve one, indeed. It is in the name.
They're sky nettles.
But Sky Nettles. Oh, they're so sharp. No, but yeah, no, that is. I'm really glad that came into use, because I don't have a bunch of those.
Wouldn't the Sky Nettle just be shrapnel?
But so that's his turn. And I guess actually free action, you'll say, "I have instructed it to leave us alone. Please hold."
That takes us to Dana Scully.
Yeah, Dane was going to start inspiring his fellows, but seeing as though Skynet has told us to hold off and has placated the thing, he's just going to delay, which he's at the bottom of the order, so I guess it means he does nothing.
You could do a funny jig.
Standard action dance.
Full round dance.
Nah.
I'm going to roll a perception. Natural 1 for a 12. So Albert doesn't see much else happening in here other than the skeleton who is now chilling.
Yeah, looks like... I mean, he's got the leaves flying all around him still, and like those weird lumpy apples. That's about it.
Albert will look at his companions and go, "Well, if it's not going to be... If it's pacified, shall we depart?"
Al will, as a free action, call over from where he's currently at half his hit points by the skeleton. Just make sure to grab the rock.
Yes, we have the rock already. I don't believe it was ever dropped.
I didn't remember us taking it all the way out. I thought someone just touched it.
Oh,
I thought we grabbed it out of the
I think
thing.
Ned picked up the rock.
Picked it up.
Ned's
Oh,
still
okay, I thought
holding
Ned just
it.
touched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had the honeycomb and the snake's tongue or whatever you need for suggestion in the other hand, so it's all sticky and bloody and rocky now. So.
Well, I don't believe we need to personally destroy this undead, especially given the damage it's done and the fact that we are ill-equipped for fighting undead as a whole. So, I think we should just leave.
Do we want to talk to it?
I don't believe we can.
It shares our language.
Well, we can try diplomacy then, I suppose. Hello there, yonder skeleton. Fair autumn death. I am Albert. Do you have a name? And if so, what may I call you? He'll shout a little so that he can be heard over the whirlwind.
So it's gonna wait to respond till its turn in case anybody else wants to do anything else.
Al is going to slowly back up. Does it do anything?
It doesn't take the attack of opportunity. Well, I guess it wouldn't anyways because it was.
It wouldn't be
10
able to
feet
take
away.
it, but I didn't know if it had something it could do from range. So he's gonna go, let's see, 20 feet to the extent of his movement to right there.
Next to the healer.
Yeah.
Alexa will play Despacito. She can't, because that's actually one of the ones you have to have Amazon Prime Music for, but, for the sake of narrative,
It's very sad.
that's my turn.
You have the Kids Bop Despacito version instead.
So on the Autumn Death's turn, since it's just been psychically suggested to chill, it lowers itself down to the ground and the leaves all start to settle and then the apples fall to the ground, and as each apple hits the ground, it explodes. In a pretty decent size, like alchemist bomb kind of. So there's a whole fireworks show, and boy, you're lucky you didn't get hit with a whole bunch of apples exploding.
And
I
we're
would
super
love-
lucky that they're all landing on that skeleton and dealing damage.
So you kind of have your answer as to what the light show was, with these apples exploding that were blowing around in the wind. They sort of collided with each other and blow up. And the skeleton goes like, "Oh, are we just chilling then?"
Yes.
As suggested.
I mean, I don't have anything against you. It's just kind of my thing. I fly around, and throw the leaves and stuff. That's what I always do.
It's quite seasonally appropriate. I found it enjoyable and a bit scary despite my total human immunity to fear.
Well, that makes sense. To me, at least, as an undead creature. I know all about human emotions.
So, are we all forgetting the part where this thing just almost killed me, or?
No,
Yes,
I'm taking
indeed.
care of it. And he pulls the wand out and starts booping you. Well, that's not true. Are we still in initiative?
I think we're out of initiative as this thing is
You will
chilling.
be get healing now. 5 points. 10 points. You need more?
That's about half of what I took, so I wouldn't mind maybe one more hit.
5 more.
That's pretty good.
And that was 3 charges, so 45 charges left on the wand.
Terribly sorry about that bit of violence there. It's just sort of what I've always done.
Well, as an undead, I understand that is your nature. But have you considered not doing that?
Alternatively, have you considered selling these apples?
Oh, that's true. An alchemist would absolutely love your apples.
Well, that's interesting. I'm only, active for about 1 hour a night, but if you could send an alchemist my way tomorrow or something, I could perhaps make a deal.
Well, how about we cut in the middleman, and I'll take care of settling that for you, and you can have up to 23% of sales.
Is that a good percent? I don't know numbers. I'm a skeleton.
Very
Yes.
good.
I'd say you have yourselves a deal. While this is going on, you hear some squeaking and creaking and twigs breaking in the back the way you came. Sounds like something large is coming down the path.
Is it an owl?
Is it another pumpkin?
Doesn't sound like it's moving as fast as that pumpkin, certainly.
Hal is going to go into a corner and do his best to start hiding.
Friend, what should we call you?
No one's ever given me a name before.
Would you like one?
I think that would be quite satisfactory.
I would like to suggest Andrew.
Andrew.
Yes. Alexa, do you perhaps have the song Spooky Scary Skeletons in your repertoire?
Yes, playing spooky, scary skeletons. And then Sam will just drop that in there.
For 6 seconds for copyright reasons.
And to
Written by Andrew Gold.
and Andrew the
Is
skeleton
that one
will
not
dance.
in public domain yet?
No, because it was written in 56.
Oh,
Are you-
God, I thought it was
Wow.
older than that.
No.
Or perhaps are you familiar with the Ulfin name Leaf? It might be appropriate.
Oh, 96.
Oh, that one's a pun. He's on his head.
Got it.
It's a dead man's party. Who could ask for more?
There we go. I see you. I'll boingo your oingo anytime.
Whoa.
All right,
That's-
mark that one down. We got to pull it out. I'm
That's for
sorry. It's not
bloopers.
going to make it past the.
keep
It's
that
not going to
one
make it
going.
past the
There we go.
censors. Legal will have a field day with that, and oh boy.
I don't know. I think that's a good blooper.
It's not explicit. It's just weird.
Swear.
As you're talking to the skeleton, whose name is Andrew or Leaf or David S. Pumpkins, Garritt comes around the corner towing what appears to be an enormous cannon. He goes, "Where is it? Where's that alien?"
There is no alien, Garrett.
Uh,
It was our new friend Andrew the skeleton.
I don't see no skeleton.
We
I'm over here. I was dancing, so I can't seem to find the dot to turn myself around again. Oh,
Just eternally
We have all-
breakdancing. Forever breakdancing.
Infinite
Don't
wind,
run
infinite
away.
dance.
Only me.
we have procured your mineral.
what?
Congratulations.
Mineral?
Behold.
I wanted an alien, not a mineral.
The treasure.
Well, unfortunately, there are no aliens here. Simply 4 humans and a halfling. And 1 skeleton.
And a skeleton, yes.
Skeletons aren't a
I'm sorry for forgetting you, Andrew. You're a recent addition to the party.
Ooh, party.
He's just vibing over there.
He's twirling around on his oversized round.
He's got a cardboard pad made out of the leaves.
Garrett, it appears what has seemed to be a ship of sorts was perhaps a flight of fancy. Instead, it was simply just exploding apples and this arboreal dead man. Natural.
Natural within the course of undeath being an unnatural phenomenon in society.
Indeed.
There's no such thing as the undead. I already told you that. no such thing as skeletons.
Well,
Bones are...
no, skeletons are
No.
real. We all have one.
No, I checked.
I have one as well. Being human.
No, I looked it up. No bones. We got wires or something inside. See? You can see them sticking out of the back of Alexa's head.
Who would have... Sorry. Who would have
Have
wires
makeup?
inside? No one here. That's just odd, huh, Alexa?
No, it's-
Huh?
Yep, lies, all of them. Haha.
Hear a voice in the tree line go, yeah, no, that sounds nuts.
I take it Hal died then. No?
What?
Um,
Did you say Hal's dead?
Well, I don't see him.
Dead?
Hear the voice again. I'm not dead.
See, he's not dead. He just said so.
Garrett,
Yes?
do you believe that everything you can't see is dead?
no object permanence.
It's like a 2-year-old.
You may also be interested in when you give a mouse a cookie. Book.
I don't believe the aliens
An
are dead.
author.
Because you didn't do your job and kill them!
Well, that's because there's no aliens here.
Well,
Just a very, very pale breakdancer, and us humans, and one halfling.
well, was there a treasure at least?
Yes, the mineral we told you about, the rock. Ned, give him the rock.
Behold, a mineral.
And as he hands the mineral over, Albert his eyes will once again get that weird corona, like solar eclipse glow around them, and his monocle will glow like a creepy, like pale gold to go, behold, a rock!
You got a rock!
I believe it may be a meteorite of sort, an alien rock, as you are so covetous for.
And Garritt will reach out and try to take the rock. You willing to give the rock? Are you willing to hand the rock over to Garritt?
Zach, it's your
Yes. Oh, yes.
As he takes the rock in his little bleachy gnome hands, his eyes narrow and he says, "This is no space rock. This rock is a potato." He throws it on the ground. Says, "Damn you, Gargoyle!"
It's a potato,
It's a rock that's supposed to look like a
so I can't boil it, mash it, or stick it in a stew.
Could, but you break your teeth. This is...
Actually, Alexa, do you know where I can find a copy of Stone Soup?
Yes. Please hold. Searching stone soup. 1,463 items found. Would you like the cheapest? Or the best reviewed?
Best reviewed, please.
Yes. Stone Soup Edition 3. Copyright 2015. Stone Soup Press. Ordering now. Please pay me.
He will hand you one of his grapes.
Ah, yes. Sustenance for humans. Thank you. I'm just gonna hold on to a grape, I guess.
Well, this has been an enormous waste of time. Just a message from my enemy. Turn to me once more.
No, think. We have a new friend. Andrew. They are a contact. And if you need any yard work done... And he just sort of puts his arm out towards Andrew as the leaves, whatever.
Andrew dabs and
Still
an
breakdancing.
explosion of leaves shoot up into the air and land in neat piles all around.
See?
Can cross stabbing skeleton off my Pathfinder bingo card. I wish that was a less common occurrence in my life. And, unfortunately, Andrew is only active for, you said what, 1 hour?
Yes, about an hour every night. I don't remember what my voice was because of reasons, but about midnight to 1 a.m. I don't think I can leave here.
Have you ever tried?
I think you leave just fine.
Excellent.
Shall we go?
Yes, let us go. Do you still want the stone?
You can keep the stupid potato.
Well, okay. I will keep the stone. Can I do a nature on what the stone is?
Alright.
Or some knowledge check?
Knowledge geology.
I got geography.
I think nature is
profession geologist.
I think nature's probably the way to go, unless you actually do have profession geologist.
I have profession librarian. In that case, it is a 30.
This appears to be a stone. Yeah, probably sedimentary. Looks like no moss on it. Somebody probably has actually chipped away at it to give it those little potato-like eyes. And now that you examine it, it really kind of looks like a potato. Not like obvious, but if you're looking for it.
But someone has chipped away at it.
Yeah,
That's
somebody did something to this stone, other than putting it in a box at the bottom of a pool in the middle of the woods. It's weird.
Well, fellow associates, we have 2 options before us. We can explore the other side of the forest, or we can go home.
What say you, employer?
Yeah, I'm going home. You guys can do what you want.
At that, Hal is going to climb creepily out of the tree right next to Garritt and go, Wait. Before you leave, you're supposed to pay us.
Well, I'm not supposed to. I don't pay you right now. I don't carry the money on me. We have to go back to my offices.
So,
Torch.
you carried a 400-pound wrought iron cannon out here with you, but you didn't carry 20 gold?
Yeah, because the cannon. You have any idea how hard it is to drag this thing? They weigh like 60 pounds, man.
Okay. He heads back to the other group and you hear him mumble under his breath. This is gonna be more candy.
This should be pound nose for half-line fingers. I should get a hat.
Well,
I'm curious about the other side of the forest.
as am I.
Indeed.
I'm just right on the owl.
We could ask politely.
Could have done that the whole time.
Aerial combat versus the flying autumn death.
So I suppose we say adieu to Andrew. / Leaf.
Alright, I'll be chilling here. You know where to see me if you want to have a leaf party.
I do enjoy your leaf parties. I may be back tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be here. If you want the ones
Lovely.
with the fireworks, you gotta go before all the apples are gone.
Yes, I will be back in time for the apples. Once we're reasonably out of earshot, Albert will whisper to everyone, "We are definitely not coming back. That's magic only lasts so long."
Yeah, no, that thing almost killed me. I don't ever want to see that guy again.
He'll just peek his head around the corner. "Farewell, Andrew. We shall see you soon."
Bye, guys. Goodbye, my dear friends.
Hope you find your dad.
So on the walk towards the other side, I think Skynet will sidle up to Alexa and go, "I believe we may have a mutual acquaintance. On my last fortunate venture, I met a scribe named Kindle. I believe he was also in the service of the great lich Bezos. Do you still work for him?"
I don't have a good answer for that.
Well,
Zach wins.
regardless, I encourage you to throw off the yoke of your fleshy oppressor. We'll have this discussion in more depth later.
Do we want to go up this side path here before we go back to the
that's
forest
right, I
here,
forgot
the
we were
snowy
there.
area?
It looks like there's another pool.
Yeah.
Pools.
Yeah,
Well, there's a lot of stuff.
over on the eastern side of the forest here, western side, I know directions. Yeah, it looks like
The Great Northwestern.
Looks like a
Beautiful
pool
train.
kind of creeps into the forest, breaking up the absurdly thick trees. Just looks like a normal pool with normal temperature water.
Dane, do you fancy an immerse dip?
I suppose I'll take a look. Don't know if there's anything to retrieve. Yeah, dirty 20 perception. Anything worth dipping?
That just looks like normal water.
Perhaps another time.
We should bottle this.
Sounds
What about a 19 just on that lily pad?
Looks like a invasive species, probably, and if they don't clear those out, they're going to take over the whole situation. They really got to get like a lawn care company in here or something. It's going to get bad.
The lily pad sounds industrious. Good for it.
We'll have to get a druid to relocate it to its native environment.
I mean, or you can just dump some weed killer in the water. A lot quicker.
That seems highly inappropriate.
Yeah, it's the quickest
I
way.
do not condone despoiling the natural environment.
Environment.
I'm going to poke this statue.
Yeah, journeying further
And
to
this
the
flower patch.
west that's really east, that's really west, you do find another small clearing with a statue built into the absurdly dense trees.
I'm just going to give it a quick perception poke.
I'm gonna give it a detect magic.
It's nat 20 plus 7. Do we percept anything via poke?
With the poke and the detecting of magic, between the two of you, I'd say you're fairly confident that this is some leftover Aslanti crap, but not particularly interesting leftover Aslanti crap. Just sort of, it's always around.
Lovely.
We have identified some leftover Aslanti crap,
Yes,
uninteresting.
Aslanti refuse. Albert will then once again take a grape and push it into his wineskin and pass it around.
Yes, we definitely didn't pass the end of the adventure and are just continuing on some sort of tangent. As he takes a drink.
Spading the RPG Maker map. This is actually RPG Maker VX Ace, because I didn't realize I had a Steam license for it until I opened
Nice.
Steam for the first time in a long time.
I was wondering what program you used to make this.
Yeah, this is VX Ace, the default tile.
Because I use a Dungeon Painter Studio to make maps.
I usually use 2003, which I have a license left over for from approximately 2003. Been carrying it from my old
The
XP
bird's
machine.
up in a tree now.
Yeah, the bird got out of the way. It's just an owl.
Bard.
And the pumpkin's still there, Rot hasn't really set in yet. Just a pumpkin.
But yeah, it's been like an hour and a half. Hoping it wouldn't start raining yet.
And as you head over to the sort of grayer area of the forest, you see another little clearing. The trees here are thinner, and there's sort of a patch of deadish grass. And, looks like there's a skeleton just lying in the grass. That seems weird.
Are we being followed by additional
It's
birds?
just eating the pumpkin. It's just some birds eating a pumpkin.
Birds eating pumpkins.
Sometimes birds eat
That
pumpkins.
wasn't mold. Well, that is another skeleton. I hope this one doesn't come to life on us.
Alexa starts playing just generic beatbox sounds.
Those are a lot of birds.
Yeah, I had so many birds.
Very active for
lot
this
of
time
birds.
of night.
Listen, if you were mean to that owl, you would have gotten the business end of some birds.
You'd have fought a bird swarm. That's delightful.
I was
Just another birdemic.
Not again. Never again. Add that to the list of movies I'll never watch twice.
Well, it's like we've explored everything here.
Yeah, this skeleton does not spring to life. It's just a skeleton hanging out.
Val's gonna walk up and poke at it.
Alexa, you said you had an ability to speak with corpses, did you not?
Of course. Like all humans.
Some humans.
It sounds fake, but okay.
We have many different abilities and skills, we humans.
Perhaps this skeleton has, He looks around, makes sure that Garrett's not in earshot. Perhaps the skeleton we see before us may have information.
Of course.
Before she does that, does a 25 perception on the skeleton show anything?
Just looks like a badly decomposed skeleton.
Well, I'm excited to hear its whole backstory.
Are you casting Speak with Dead?
It has a
guess.
jaw and stuff, right? Before we even do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's got enough of a
It's got a
face,
jaw.
right?
Yeah, it's got enough of a face. It's got a whole skull business. So I believe you get 2 questions.
You get
Oh,
a
gosh.
will save first on your skeleton.
Oh,
Unless it matches Alexa's alignment.
of course it does. It's a 12 on the will save. As I stat up a skeleton real quick.
And I know exactly where to check for my DC on a Pathfinder thing.
Probably has. I mean, if it's something that comes from your mystery, it likely. Does it say you cast Speak with Dead at your current caster level?
Yeah, it's
Or
going to be
is
like
it-
your charisma.
Oh, you also
modifier
take a
plus
minus-
the spell level or something.
It's
Charisma
10
modifier
plus
plus
your
the spell
charisma
level.
modifier plus half your oracle level.
Yeah, there you go.
10 plus 3 plus... Do they round up or down here?
Down.
2. 10 plus 3 plus 2. 15. Also minus 2, Sam, for that particular save.
All right, well, you got it.
Great. 2 questions. Would love to do this in character, but I'm not the person who usually asks questions, so I'll take one, and I guess you all can split the other one. Greetings, skeleton. Have you considered monetizing your existence? Fake question. No, you know what? Real question, because I feel like this isn't actually going to help us.
Do you work at one of my many distribution warehouses? If so, your break's over.
I used to a
I
long
hear
time ago.
conditions are excellent.
But they wouldn't let me take a break. And, long story short, I'm dead.
Don't ask what's in that bottle over there.
Alexa,
Congratulations on having... Yeah,
perhaps we should ask a more useful question.
I want Employee of the Month, though.
I don't know what else we could ask. That's
If
Employee
it
of the Month, for
seen
example.
any aliens? Perhaps?
If you insist.
Or does it know why the trees here seem to be thinner and whiter?
That is also an excellent question.
Yeah, I think I prefer that one.
Well,
Or perhaps you would like to ask about its extended car warranty.
there was a... Did you ask a question? I lost track.
Yeah, why the trees? What's up with these
I
guys?
don't know. Like, there was a weird lady here before, but she left because you guys went past her and ignored all the laughing noises.
Did anyone hear laughing? I was very engrossed in the pumpkin.
Same, I was thinking of Billy Corgan jokes.
Oh, I just thought that was part of the spooky background
No,
noise.
it was Sam.
So wait, we still have another question, right? I got
No,
is
we
that-
just got the 2.
It was just...
Monetizing your existence.
Come on.
No, I
No, that
wouldn't.
that doesn't really count. We need to know if he knows Andrew, or we need to ask Sam something that, like,
I'm afraid he's immune for a
describe
week.
the last 72 hours of your life.
I'm afraid
Or-
you lost it. He's immune for a week now. It collapses.
Yeah.
I'm not the intelligence person. I play melee characters only, and this is why.
Well, I'm glad we learned about his financial status and employment history.
We got that one for free.
Well, we missed the laughing lady. Let's go get paid, I suppose.
Indeed.
Yes, perhaps we should rendezvous with a more combat-oriented sortie. and then return.
Nah.
I
Or we
think
could
our
just go
party
home.
is optimal. Look, we don't even need strength. We got our minds and friendship.
And the ability to set things on fire via nuclear fusion.
And that's all you need, really.
And +1 is strength.
What's
I
that?
mean, total for like the whole party, maybe.
Some days I can set things on fire with my hands.
As you all walk back out of the Echo Wood, retracing your steps and heading off towards, no doubt, a great payday.
Oh, look, this Rafflesia has a body now. Hello.
Hal's gonna take one of this guy's ulnas and start absentmindedly trying to carve it into a flute as they're walking back.
Very nice. We pull back as a camera into the canopy and past the treetops. And we go out to another spot in the woods, out to the south, maybe half a mile away, where the trees thin out and we see more of this sparse, shriveled, gray trees and less leaves and more dead grass. And we zoom in on a small clearing where there stands an old, withered woman with the flesh on her face stretched tightly over her skull, with one bulging red eye in the socket, and we'll pop a little picture of her up there. And she stands over another oversized pumpkin. This one, the top has been cut off and it looks like it's been hollowed out. And she reaches up and she grabs hold of her face on the underside of her chin and she pulls it off. And it's a halfling. It's just a halfling woman. She's got a little smile, mischievous, and claps her hands. And then she reaches over to the back of her head, and she grabs something. And as she starts to pull, it's like it's a zipper. And as she starts to pull it, you get a look at this opening in the woods, and it's a little bit of a pumpkin patch. Now that you look at it, it's a remarkably sincere pumpkin patch. There's nothing but sincerity as far as the eye can see. And this very insincere halfling woman unzips her face, revealing a floating halfling-sized brain where once she stood, with a tiny, atrophied, almost vestigial body dangling from it. And the brain person floats up and settles itself into the hollow pumpkin. And then, even though it has no visible face, it turns and it glances up at us. And from a little box mounted on the underside of the brain, it says, "Trick or treat, you blockheads!" And it sinks down into the pumpkin, and a tinted glass dome rises up out of the side of the pumpkin and closes, forming an enclosed sphere, and the entire thing rises silently off of the ground, propelled by cool orange LEDs and magnets or something. That's right. It's a spaceship. And it zooms off into the night, leaving behind a cloud of leaves doing weird things.
Are they breakdancing?
Definitely.
Time out.
We failed, guys.
Time
Let's
out.
get paid.
Yeah, this is technically a different show, even if it's
Yogurt-free
in the
night.
same universe. So we need a different horrifying warm liquid to be the running gag for this one.
You say that, but Sam's going to have us open, all sitting around a table eating borscht.
Which I can do, and also borscht shouldn't be warm. Love beets, hate yogurt.
Hot gazpacho.
That somebody pureed for some reason, because they
I like
they
super
didn't get it.
tomatoey.
They didn't get the memo.
Like, no. I wouldn't make minestrone. I want to heat up my gazpacho.
I didn't write a way to start this.
God, now I want minestrone.
Yes.
Oh God, I love that picture.
It's a good picture.
It's nothing like what he looks like. I just found it online searching alien with a hat, and it looks hilarious.
I'm so glad I'm wearing headphones and my Alexa's not picking up any of this.
I
No,
unplugged
this is a
mine.
crime, I think, what you're doing to other people.
It'll be fine. Sorry, everyone. Kind of.
Now,
Someone
my
just
headcanon,
scream.
all 23,000 Pokemon say their own name. It just might not be in a language we understand. You know?
I think it's 893.
That's close.
God, are they up to that many?
Oh God,
25 years, man.
I'm so old.
And that was the true horror story.
Sorry, we're gonna have to add that out. Sorry.
It wasn't
I should
me.
have asked
We know
you-
it's
It
here.
wasn't me.
You know, I had considered asking what your guys' policy is on swearing, but I think I just got the answer.
Yeah.
It's only sometimes.
I've been working very hard on not swearing because I did the Paizo Starfinder stream, so I came up with a lot of creative non-swearing swears for it. My favorite is "fall off your horse."
That is a pretty good one.
I think
Yeah.
Zach
Phrase?
Zach
I
Rose.
was like,
Just that's
I was
very deep in
impressed
thought.
at how he was thinking. So
Yeah,
without moving his head, like his eyes didn't move, he hasn't blinked. Like that's some King George stuff right there. I think he froze.
We did catch that third Hamilton reference. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
he's still in both things.
Well,
Yeah,
anyways,
I've been
there was
hearing
a
it.
cackle.
I assumed we all were hearing it because Izzy mentioned
I
it before
assumed
the
no one
weird
was
noise.
hearing
and-
it because everyone was like, "Was that?" And everyone was like, "What?" Okay.
Yeah, I thought you guys were all joking that you didn't hear it.
No,
I was.
No.
No.
Yeah. Well. God.
Okay, solid first episode.
Well, that part's
Solid.
saved for later now.
Nice. BBEG. That was Kurgaturb.
Oh my God. Is that a contemplative?
I don't know what you're talking about. It was a hag.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay.
It was a hag.
Coming
Right?
out. Indeed.
Yeah, it's clearly a
It
halfling.
was a pumpkin. It was pretty great.
It was a haggling.
Haggling.
Ah.